Anyone got a pencil? Hello and welcome to the Mixtape podcast. My name's Mark and I am your host. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Every week on the show, I ask my guests to make up an imaginary mixtape and pick 6 tracks for it. I've had some incredible chats. They're already there in the archives, just waiting for you to stumble across them. I've had chats with Steve Kilby from The Church, Rowetta from The Happy Mondays, Rick from Ash. I've had Al Anderson, one of the original Wailers. I've had Clint Boone from Your Spiral Carpets. I've had Donita Sparks from L7. I've had Scott Kirkland from The Crystal Method. There's lots and lots of episodes sitting there waiting for you to discover. If you enjoy this week's episode, please feel free to rate it 5 stars on Spotify and or jump up to the top of the page and hit that old follow or subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time there is a new episode. Catch up with everything I'm doing by going to www.themixtapepodcast.com. That's enough for the intro. I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Hello and welcome to another Mixtape show, and today I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Clare Perrott. How are you, Clare?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Mark?
Brilliant. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time. Just checking I pronounced your surname correctly.
It is Perrott.
Perrott. So sorry. So sorry.
It's okay. It's a common mistake.
Okay. Perrott.
No worries.
Okay. All right. I'll leave that in. I won't edit that out. I'll leave that in.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm only human. You first sort of came up to me as an artist when I was at the So Far Sounds gig that you did a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and I think I wasn't alone in the room. Like, everyone in the room was absolutely mesmerised by your performance. Yeah. Really blew me away. And yeah, like, you could tell in the room, everyone was just, I've never been at a gig where it was just such hushed silence. Do you know what I mean? Like, throughout the whole set, like, it was just like, yeah, it was really, I love those So Far Sounds gigs. Yeah, they're amazing.
They are seriously, I think, for like folk musicians, for every musicians with their craft, they are the perfect setup. It's where music is really appreciated, and it's so beautiful the way that they set everything up with the flowers and the lighting, and it being so intimate that it allows for your words and your music to really carry in a way in some settings that it can't. And that was probably my favorite gig I've ever done. And the artists, as like Claudia Tripp and Dylan Hutchinson, they're so insane in their own right. Like, they've got their own style and their own sound, and it was so great to be in that space with them. It was amazing. Yeah, that was such an amazing opportunity.
It was a great lineup. I've got another one coming up. I think the big end of year one in the 9th of December. I'm going to that one as well. So yeah, I can't wait for that.
Beautiful.
Shout out So Far Sounds. I'll probably put a link in the description for their website if you're listening to this podcast. If you're listening to the radio show, So Far Sounds, SOFAR Sounds. If you're on the podcast, then there'll be a link in the description. And what I'll also do, Claire, is what I was just going to get onto next, is your socials and your YouTube channel and stuff like that. I noticed you haven't got a Spotify. Is that a conscious decision, or have you just not got sort of round to it yet?
I actually haven't started recording music yet. So that is the next step coming up, is actually getting stuff to put onto Spotify. So that is why.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got your live stuff's on. You got a live track on YouTube, on your YouTube channel.
Yes. Yeah. I've got mostly Vimeo, but I do have a YouTube channel with more live recordings and producing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. So we'll put the link in there, and then when I come back, when you do get your Spotify and your Bandcamp and everything else up and running, I'll come back to the podcast. If you're listening to this at a later date, I'll put those links in there as well, like sort of after the fact. You played the telethon gig as well the other week. How was that for you?
Yeah, I did. That was insane. That was really, really cool. It was because it was at RAC, and it was through university, through WAAPA, and they gave me this really great opportunity. And yeah, to perform an original song, I chose my song Tooth, which is a bit more grittier, more of a rock-based kind of song. And it was such an amazing experience. I mean, the people at Telethon are so amazing. And I was really grateful to be joined by an amazing band of people. And yeah, it was just really fun. And so many people there as well. It was a bit freaky, but it was great.
I wanted to ask you, like, how does that sort of compare to like the So Far Sound setup in terms of like you as a musician? Like, it must be so different, like, to playing like such a massive arena like that than compared to like 30 people in a room sitting on cushions. Like, it must be so weird.
It is really different. I think the anxiety of going on telethon beforehand did make the performance really different. I was more thinking about, how's it going to sound? Like, is the band like, are we ready for this? We were, but, I was just overthinking, and how am I going to look like? All this sort of stuff about getting it together, that it kind of took away, like, my mindset of I'm here to perform my song because I like performing my song. And I was more thinking and more stressing about, what could happen, and it's on TV, like all this sort of stuff. Whereas for So Far Sounds, I was more connected with my music and what songs I was performing. And because it was such a great, like, comforting space, it just felt a bit more, I could be a bit more honest, which came through a bit more in my performance. But very, very, very different. Very, very different. They were both amazing experiences. But yeah, I think it was more of a mindset thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I personally need to get over. But yeah, telethon was amazing, I would say.
Think it's going back to the So Far Sounds thing.
Yeah.
Very quickly. I just feel like in that sort of space, like it's like, it's, how can I put this into words? Like, everybody's there for you. Do you know what I mean? Like, rooting for you,
100%.
supporting you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just that kind of nurturing sort of environment, I think. It's a really great thing they've got set up there.
Yeah, everyone there is to support the live music, and they like hearing new artists. And exactly. No one's there to not listen. Everybody's there to be a part of. Whereas, like, sometimes when you do big gigs, like, your genre might not be someone's genre, and it's a bit harder to distinguish, like, who you're playing for. And that's why it's with So Far Sounds, it's you're playing for yourself, and everybody there wants to hear you play for yourself, and it's so good. Yeah.
That's something I'm working on with the Hillstock lineup. We can talk about that now. It's out there now, but it will be by the time this podcast comes out next week. Yeah. So with Hillstock, that's something I'm trying to work on is getting a lineup of artists that all kind of complement each other, and you're not going to have people in the crowd come to see you, for example, and then disappear when Whiskey Jack goes off or comes on or whatever, because everyone's going to be sort of in a similar sort of genre, and hopefully, it won't be as sort of intimate as So Far Sounds. Well, hopefully not. Anyway, hopefully I'll sell enough tickets that it won't be that intimate. But fingers crossed. But yeah, so we'll touch on Hillstock again at the end when we're just wrapping up. So okay, let's get into your mixtape tracks then.
Yes,
Claire. So track one for your mixtape, I asked you to pick an attention grabber, something that's going to kick off your mixtape in fine style. What did you pick, mate?
I picked Anywhere by Madison Cunningham. Madison Cunningham is this insane folk artist from America. She's only like 26, and she released this album last year called Reveler. And she's an amazing guitar player, and she uses electric guitar, and she is riff based, and this song's in 7/8, so it's a bit funky, it's a bit groovy, but I just find it so beautiful. It's high energy, and the lyrics are kind of a little bit nonsensical in a way. They're a bit more metaphorical, but the way, like, the groove kind of carries the song, and I just think it's just a perfect piece of music. Yeah.
I really enjoy the song. Here's a confession for you. So I really enjoyed the song a lot, but I was watching the video on YouTube and I had to turn it off after about a minute because I'm not particularly comfortable with puppets and dolls and that kind of thing. And I don't tell many people that. I don't even think my partner doesn't even know that about me. So if she's watching this now, she does know. But yeah, I wouldn't call it a phobia, but I just find it really unsettling. For anyone who hasn't seen the video features like a sort of, I would call like an open mic kind of performance, and the crowd is entirely made up of like puppets. Yeah, and I honestly like to turn it off.
That's crazy.
When I was a kid, like when I was really young, I used to sleep over at my grandparents sometimes at weekends, and my nan used to collect these dolls, and the whole room was full of them, like cupboards and like display cabinets full of these dolls, and it's like be 20 or 30 of them in the room, and I'd be like, trying to go to sleep like a sort of 7-8-year-old boy, like like a gibbering wreck, like with all these dolls like staring at me. So yeah, I think that's probably what it goes back to. Yeah, well, that's a confession. Yeah, I don't normally tell people that, but yeah, there you go.
Does that mean like you don't like the Muppets?
No, see, that's different because it's a comedy thing. Like, things
that
like
makes
that,
sense.
I don't mind. But when like they're not even meant to be creepy. They're meant to be fun in that video, but I still found it really unsettling. I was like, no, I can't watch this. I had to turn it off. Yeah, but I was loving the song. Like, it was a great song. But yeah. Oh, there's a confession. All right, okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Now, this is probably track 2 is going to take up the large part of the mixtape. As regular listeners will know, I'm the world's biggest Jeff Buckley nerd. Wow. So yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, track 2, Claire, what did you pick for your song you sing loud and proud on your own in the car or the shower?
I sing Last Goodbye by Jeff Buckley loud and proud in my car. 100%. Yeah, always.
I think Jeff Buckley is obviously, he's my man. He's my, as he says about Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan live at Sinead, he's my Elvis. Like, he's the guy.
Yeah.
You know, I know almost everything there is to know about him. Yeah, I actually went to, some years ago in the late 90s, I walked down to the end of Beale Street where he drowned in the river. Yeah. And just sat there for a little while. And he's just, if you're not familiar with Jeff Buckley, then just go and buy the album Grace or stream it or download it or whatever, because you absolutely will not regret it. Yeah. So how did you first get into Jeff, Claire? Was it someone you know, or just, you know?
It was someone I know. I got into it. It's kind of a bit weird, actually, but we had to do this vocal assessment at uni. Mm-hmm. And one of the vocal assessments was we had to pick a song that was really challenging to sing.
Right, you could pick any Jeff Buckley song there. Yeah.
I could have, I could have. And it was any song. And my good friend, Joe Caddy, actually, he chose this song, Last Goodbye by Jeff Buckley. And I heard it. And his voice is kind of similar to Jeff Buckley as well, a little bit. Oh, okay. And it was insane. It was crazy. And I came home that day and I listened to that album, and that song really stuck with me. And I think it's just because as a bass player, I love that song. Like, listening to that, it's just so, everything's just moving. Like, the groove is insane in that song. And I think when I was coming into think about my, like, a band and how I want my music to sound live, that was kind of what I envisioned. Like, it's so loud, everything's just so big, it's so large, but his lyrics and the way he vocally delivers is so intimate. It's just the best of both worlds. He adds strings and it's just everything to me. I think that song just kind of encapsulates, like, what I think, like it has the best stuff from folk and the best stuff from rock. And I just think that, to me, it's just amazing.
Are you familiar with his dad?
I am, Tim. Yes, yeah. Because that's way more folky, which I really like. Yeah. So I listen to him, like, I have this playlist which is like Don McLean and a bit of Tim stuff, which I don't mind. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah.
There's an amazing book. I don't know if you've read it. It's called Dream Brother: The Lives of Tim and Jeff Buckley, and it's their life. It's their life story, but it's a chapter about Tim and a chapter about Jeff, a chapter about Tim, a chapter about Jeff, and it goes through, like, follows the life. It's a really good. It's written by a music journal whose name escapes me, Barney someone. But yeah, it's a really good book. It's well worth checking out. Are you familiar? You familiar with the Live at Sinead sort of EP and the album of Jeff's?
I'm not, but I have to be. I will have to be.
Man. It's so good. Talk about intimate. Like, that was so. You obviously wouldn't be familiar with how he got his record deal and that. So if you haven't heard Sinead, so do you know the movie The Commitments? Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, brilliant movie. If you get a chance, like, do you know, have you heard of Glenn Hansard? He's quite a well-known sort of Irish.
Yes, I have. I've seen his musical and his movie. Yeah.
Right, okay, once. So once, how good is once, yeah. Oh,
yes, amazing. So good.
Yeah. Anyway, Glenn Hansard stars in the movie The Commitments as a very young man. It's about a sort of a soul band in Dublin in the sort of 80s. Anyway, the movie was massive in the early 90s, and they toured as a band after the movie.
Right.
And Jeff Buckley was their roadie on their tour, and he was friends with Glenn Hansard. And Glenn Hansard was friends with this guy whose name escapes me now, but he was the owner and manager of a coffee shop in downtown New York called Sinead. And when Glenn Hansard and The Commitments were in town on that tour, he hit Glenn up and said, any chance, I've got my regular Monday night guys who plays live in the coffee shop has let me down. Any chance you can come and play? And Glenn was like, no, I don't really fancy it. But my roadie is a really like gun guitar player and singer.
Yeah.
Like he'd be well keen to come down.
Oh,
And so
beautiful.
Jeff Buckley went down and played the Monday night at Chennai, and then he sort of became a regular fixture because he's just so amazing, obviously. And
Wow.
by the end of his time at Chennai, there were like limos parked, like, you know, up the street, record company executives, Columbia, Sony, Warner, who would just turn up at this coffee shop on a Monday night to see him play and try and like sign him to a record deal. I
Yeah,
know.
right.
And eventually he signed to Sony Columbia, and Live at Chennai was his first release. It's like a 4-track EP.
That
And then Grace came out after that. But it's good. Live at
oh
Chennai is good because
yeah.
there's some early demo versions of some of the tracks that ended up on. And
Yeah.
it's literally just him and an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar, sorry, and
Yes.
vocals,
Yeah.
like nothing, no other instruments. And yeah, some of the performance he does Strange Fruit,
Beautiful.
he
Yeah.
does, oh God, the Dylan track. Yeah, he does The Way Young Lovers Do by Van Morrison. He covers a Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan song, which is incredible. Yeah, it's a
Gosh.
brilliant. It's come out over the years as there's like a double and a triple CD.
Yeah.
I've got the vinyl box set
Yeah.
because
Mega
I
fan.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I had to have it when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Live at Chennai is incredible. Like it's really an amazing recording. And then yeah, obviously he
Beautiful.
sadly passed away, and he was working on his
Yeah.
second album, I think, while he passed away. And yeah, so that came out as sort of like demos and sort of half finished songs, which I never agree
Yeah.
with because it was
Yeah.
never. Sorry, go on.
I see. Yeah, a lot of artists do that. I think
Mm,
there's one. I think there was an Elliott Smith album. It was a
mm,
Basement on the Hill that was
mm,
released posthumously, I
yeah,
think. And
yeah,
I do have mixed feelings about it because I did listen to the album and there are some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful songs on there.
mm,
But it's like I don't know if that's how they wanted it, you know?
yeah,
It's a bit tricky because
mm,
obviously I'll appreciate any music that they create
mm,
and that they put out. It's so touching and so beautiful.
mm.
But yeah, just out of like the artist's right. It's a bit tricky.
Yeah, it's an hard one because
Yeah.
as a fan, you want to consume, especially someone who's only released one
100%.
album and then passed
Yeah.
away. You want to hear everything you possibly can, but at the same time, like you say, it's highly likely not how they would have wanted
Yeah.
it. You know, so
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
okay, we've got to move on now. Through so that was quite quick. I thought we were going to go on a lot longer than that. If I didn't have another interview lined up like after this, I probably would have gone on a bit longer. But we'll
Oh,
leave it there. We'll leave Jeff
okay.
Buckley. We'll leave Jeff Buckley there.
Bye, Jeff.
And track 3, Claire, for your mixtape. I asked you to pick your
Yes.
favorite cover version. What did you pick?
I chose Black Star and it's
Mm,
covered by Gillian Welch.
mm. Yeah, so that's the Radiohead track, right?
That's the Radiohead
Yeah,
track. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Oh
watched that
man.
one. Incredible live version, and it's always good.
Oh,
Like I always
crikey.
say in this section of the chat, when someone puts their own stamp on a cover version and doesn't just try and recreate the original, which, to be fair,
Yeah.
no one could recreate the original because it's Radiohead. Do you
No.
know what I mean? Like,
It's yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'm a huge Radiohead fan in their
mm,
own right. I
yeah,
love almost like everything that they do.
yeah,
And it's just but it's also like the way that they're produced, like their own sounds. I
mm,
respect them for that. Like,
mm, yeah,
but when I hear this song and it's so broken down and it's so acoustic, like it's just two
mm,
guitars, two vocals.
yeah, yeah,
It just proves to me just how beautiful their lyrics and their melodies are just on their own. All their
yeah,
music just stands so well on their own. And the way that she took her spin on it
mm,
and the guitar patterns and the pickings that she used, it's just so I found it so beautiful. I listened to it when I was 14 actually,
mm,
and
yeah.
I'd just gone to a Maggie Rogers concert and I'm a huge Maggie
Oh,
Rogers
how good is
fan.
she? Yeah, she's
She's
great. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
So
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And I saw her live at the Astor
Oh, that would
and
have been so good. Yeah.
so amazing. Like in the
Mm,
mosh pit, had to drag my
mm.
sister along. And she did this. She actually finished her set with doing this song where she was by herself on stage and she just did it a cappella. I think she sang Past Life. And she told everyone, she's like, everyone be quiet. Like no one speak at all. She didn't have a microphone.
Mm.
And she just sang all by herself.
Wow.
And it was
Yeah.
mesmerizing. And
Yeah.
so after that, obviously I was obsessed before, but became obsessed again. And I was
Yeah.
going through her Spotify and she had this playlist of just like current favorites.
Mhm.
And this was the first song on it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was just really blown away. That guitar solo is
I was going to say that.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Insane. Like, and the fact that it's like acoustic as well, like it's just I couldn't get over it. And that cover stuck with me for a long time. And I always listen to it. It's just so good. And she's so good. Like she has always been amazing. So good. Yeah. Her own music and the way that she plays guitar, and she's big inspiration for sure.
Yeah. No, I always one of the sort of, I've had this before, the very first sort of song like this that I heard way back in the day that was kind of completely stripped back and taken from the original was, are you familiar with the band Travis, the Scottish band Travis?
Yeah, I love that song, Sing.
The very first sort of version, like a sort of thing, a broken down track that I heard was them doing Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, right, on BBC Radio 1.
Okay.
Right? It was, honestly, I think you might still be able to find it on YouTube. It's got to be 25 years old, right? But it showed me, like, back then, that great songwriting is great songwriting. Even when you break it down to that, just vocal and acoustic guitar, it's just, it shows you what a great song that is. Do you know what I mean? If you take away the pop sort of dress up and, you know, that kind of thing around it, like, it's just at its core, it's just a great song.
100%. 100%.
It's a great version, that Hit Me Baby One More Time. It's like you can hear them just pissing themselves laughing, like, while they're playing. Like they can't believe it. The DJs can't believe it either. It was like one of the very first times like a band sort of did something like right outside of their sort of genre, wheelhouse. It was like on that sort of like a version sort of segment that they used to have on Radio 1.
Oh, I love back when in BBC the day. One does that. Live lounge. But this was like donkeys years ago. So that's a great version, well worth looking up as well. Okay, and track 4. I sort of, when I found out how old you are, I thought I probably should, and it's rude to mention a lady's age, especially in public like this, but when I found out how old you are, I thought, maybe I should change this question, but I never quite got around to changing it. So so track 4 is pick a song you wish you could play to your 18-year-old self 6 months ago, I imagine, probably, Claire. So go for it, mate. Yeah. Well, since I'm 20.
Oh, okay, right.
Freshly 20. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I actually chose Garden Song by Phoebe Bridgers.
Mm-hmm.
And Phoebe Bridgers is one of my huge, like, my big influences. I first heard of her when I was 17, and this was the song that actually introduced me to her. It was through my guitar teacher, and she was like, "Oh, I really think you like her stuff." Like, I don't know. And she played it to me, and we learnt it, and I was actually mesmerized. And I think for me, why I wanted my 18-year-old self to hear it was when I was 18, that's when I started songwriting. So around last year, and I kind of got in a bit of a rut. I find myself, I am a bit of a people pleaser to some extent. And I was writing my music, and I found that it was getting in the way of me being actually honest with myself and actually wanting to create music that I would really like to listen to. And I was always kind of thinking of the audience perspective, and I was just a bit more like, I can't write that. I can't say this because I don't know if people will like it, or you know, just silly stuff like that. And if I listen to this song again, this song just showed me how important it is to be honest. And it does follow her experience that I can't relate to. It's a personal story of hers, but I love the song because I don't need to have had her journey. I don't need to have experienced what she experienced, but the delivery, I almost feel like I have when I listen to her music. Every song that she has, I feel like I've almost been there, because the way that she feels it just like it transforms the listener. It's like I have. And the lyrics in this song, like, I don't know how, but I'm taller, which is like the chorus kind of thing. To me, it just means like no matter what you do or every experience that you have, you're always going to grow from it. And I think when I was 18, I just needed to stop messing around and stop getting in my own head. And I just needed to make some decisions and say, no, like, I write music now. I should write what I want to write. And I have to be honest with it, and I'll grow from whatever I do. Whatever experience I have, I'll grow from it. And that's the whole beauty of growing up, I guess. And not so cliche way, but yeah. I love this song. It has a really special place in my heart. And it's just really inspired me to just be more honest with myself and be more open with my music, and to appreciate that people who write the song, they have their own life, and I'll never experience what other people experience, and the audience won't experience what I experience, but I have, that just to me means I have a unique thing to share. And that's the whole joy of what writing music and listening to music is about. So yeah,
absolutely. I think she probably was already before you made that choice, but I'm pretty sure Phoebe Bridgers is the most selected artist on the mixtape. We're probably, what are we now? I'm not sure when this will go out, but 26 or 27 episodes in, and she's made probably 5 or 6 appearances already on the mixtape. Trent from Last Quokka came out as the world's biggest Phoebe Bridgers fan when he came on the mixtape.
No way!
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He outed himself massively. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think one of the sort of the general theme that comes through when people talk to me about Phoebe Bridgers is she does that thing like you touched on earlier, where her lyrics are intensely personal, but they're also very relatable to the person listening. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the trick of brilliant genius songwriting, I think, is making it personal, but also something people can relate to. Like it's a 100%. It's an amazing skill.
I have no idea how she does it. And it's so annoying because I'll be listening through her albums. And I'll just be like, just going through it, listening to her stuff. But I'm like, I'm not 25. I haven't done half the thing that she's done. But it's just the emotion, I think, is what makes you feel it, because everyone's felt what she's felt. Everyone's felt those feelings that she talks about. But just everything that she says is so beautiful. And I think that's why the relatability is there. It's also just such an appreciation. I was lucky enough to see her live, actually, at Laneway this year. Yeah. I bowled the entire time. I'm not a crier, but I was bowling the entire time. She's amazing. I really do love her. And Boy Genius, that's a separate topic.
I've played them
for that forever.
I've played them a few times on the show. That's a bit more in my sort of wheelhouse in terms of genre of the mixtape radio show. And I played Boy Genius quite a few times on there. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Yeah. All right. Track 5, Claire. I asked you to pick a song you'd put on your mixtape to let the listener know you were romantically interested. What did you pick, mate?
I picked "How Can I Tell You" by Cat Stevens.
Nice. Yep. What is it about? Have you ever made a playlist or a mixtape, or has anyone ever made one for you that's like worked or not worked? Or
I can't say I have, actually. That's not that's not my go-to move. But
okay.
Yeah. But that's something that I was found actually really challenging to find. I found answering every question in this mixtape extremely hard to narrow down everything. Like, there were like two of my biggest influences that didn't make it into this list. But Cat Stevens is I personally can't beat him. And this song, to me, the lyrics are so simple. Like, they're to the point. They're so direct. Like, it's "How can I tell you that I love you?" And it's just different kind of short poems that elaborate on that. It's very metaphorical. And to me, the fact that the song is it's produced like barely, like there's not much there. It's just a man and his guitar and some beautiful slide guitar work as well. To me, that's kind of what like love is. It's just a simple organic thing. And the way that he talks about it and the way that he sings and his guitar, the guitar in this song is insane. It's probably my favorite guitar track of all time. Every element about it is beautiful, and it's appreciative, and it's so positive. And to me, it's just like, that's what love is to me. And this song is so warm, and I always listen to it, and I have for years. Nothing can really, to me, has topped that, and that feeling that it gives me. Yeah.
I think going back to what I said at the beginning of that question, like the making of a mixtape and and for the intentions of, you know, letting people know you're keen. That's very much a generational thing, I think, of like my generation and older. Like, I lost count in the amount of times I made up tapes and CDs.
Really? Beautiful.
But not just for you know, romantic interest, but you know, for mates and friends, and that's why I sort of, when I got the opportunity to do a radio show, I wanted it to be a mixtape, but on a bigger scale. Do you know what I mean? Just like doing the same thing, like spreading like the music that I like and I think is underappreciated to, you know, people that I should, you know, sort of can appreciate it. And only very recently I bought a USB CD burner. It's just sitting like literally just there, so I can burn CDs again. So I started doing that now, and I have got a tape deck that I do have the facility to make actual mixtapes now as well, cassette tape. So I could do that as well if I wanted to from vinyl or CD.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's just I'm the most time poor man in the world, so I'm never going to get round to doing it. But
got too much power now. Yeah.
Oh God, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Okay. And finally, Claire, track 6 of your mixtape, something you wanted to put on there that's a little bit left field, obscure B-side or album track or something like that. What'd you go with, mate?
I chose I Know I'm Funny, Haha by Faye Webster. Have you heard of Faye Webster or listened to Faye Webster?
This is sort of one of the reasons why I put this track on there was so I'd get introduced to loads more new music. Like that was a purely selfish thing for me, for like, right, okay. How can I get, you know, because I know, you know, quite a lot of music and I know generally most people's sort of choices. But I thought if I put that one on there, then I'm going to get introduced to loads of new stuff that I'm not aware of. So I did some Googling and I really enjoyed that track. It was a good one. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, you should get well acquainted with Faye Webster. She's awesome. She's like, crazy thing about her is that she's got like really interesting influences. Like she's got a bit of a country style. She's like lap steel. But she's also got big like R&B influences when you hear from her other tracks. Yeah. But this song to me is just awesome. It's really minimal. It's a bit slower. And the same thing with the lyrics. It's a bit similar to Phoebe Bridgers. Like everything has a personal backstory and it goes through like different stages of her relationship with somebody. And they're quite obscure. Like we might not relate to like buying a bass for someone, which she says in like the third verse, or meeting someone else's family. But the cool thing about it is like the band, it's very repetitive. So it doesn't have a chorus, but it has like a lap steel solo. But the band, the groove changes ever so suddenly each time. And it just catches your ear. And to me, I just love it. It just creates such a dreamy, like atmospheric energy and sound that I repeat over and over again. It's one of those songs that as soon as I press play, I'm like, transported. It's so strong. But this one was so tricky. I'm not gonna lie. This question again, I was like, dang, I don't know which one to choose. I was thinking like Adrian Lenker, but I was like, nah. Inevitably, I think Faye Webster is my number one. I can't wait to see her next year as well. That's gonna be
coming to Perth.
Yeah, so she's part of Laneway.
Cool.
So Laneway awesome. Part 2, going again, seeing Faye Webster, going to be awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. On that note, thanks so much for coming on the Mixtape, Claire. I really appreciate
your time. Thank you so much for having me, Mark.
It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. And I can't wait for the rest of the stuff that we've got planned. The Low Noise acoustic session in the studio in January, and also Hillstock, which is out there now, 11th of May, Kalamunda Club in Kalamunda. That's going to be happening. That's out there now. I'm going to be announcing that on Tuesday on the radio show. So by the time this goes out on Thursday, it'll be already out there. So thanks for coming on, Claire. I really appreciate your time, mate.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thanks for asking me. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks. Likewise. That was a Mixtape podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to jump up to the top of the page and smash that follow button, and you'll be notified every time there's a new episode. Or follow me on Instagram @TheMixtapePerth. Till the next time.